Good evening and welcome to ITV News. This is Monday night's calendar.
Hello, thanks for joining us. Here are tonight's main stories.
Paddling pool tragedy. A father's warning after his adult son drowned in just 9 inches of water.
Unfortunately, we were about 10 minutes late before his heart stopped. It's horrible. It's just not something you'd ever think had happened to you.
His final whistle. Friends, family and fans gather in Sheffield for the funeral of Uriah Rennie, the Premier League's first black referee.
Great friend, sadly missed, and one that you can see by the attendance here, loved in and around Sheffield.
He's booked me a few times, I've had a few yellow cards, I argued back with him, but it was a waste of time. Obviously I couldn't, had to take the punishment really.
Don't be nervous. Take deep breaths. Take deep breaths. Okay. Thank you.
Keeping one's nerve. 8-year-old Lydia's advice for Princess Catherine before her big moment at Wimbledon.
And I'm at Oxenhope Station, where an audience has just got off this train to see a brand new version of the Railway Children for the very first time.
First tonight, to a family's calls never to take the dangers of water for granted. 24-year-old Rowan Bloor died when he was draining a paddling pool and fell face down into the water.
Paramedics managed to get his heart restarted, but his brain had been starved of oxygen and he didn't survive. His family from Doncaster say they've been touched by donations to an online fundraiser for his funeral costs. But if he'd been with someone at the time of the tragedy, they believe Rowan could still be alive today. Adam Fowler has their story.
Rowan Bloor was just 24 years old when he died in an accident in his father's garden.
It's as soon as I wake up, the tears start. Then I try and focus on things that need to keep the house running. You know, tidying up mostly. I can't do a lot of it because it hurts. I'm disabled and I'd like to go everywhere with somebody else in case I have a problem. So he used to act as my carer. He used to go to the shop with me, help me carry stuff. Like I say, so caring. This is a chain that belonged to him and I like to stroke it and remember him wearing it. And, you know, it's horrible. It's just not something you'd ever think had happened to you.
Rowan had been taking down a paddling pool when he collapsed and fell into the water. It was up to 10 minutes before he was found. His family raced home from a holiday in Devon, but it was too late.
Unfortunately, we were about 10 minutes late before his heart stopped. So we just missed it. You know, it had already gone by the time we got back.
A GoFundMe was set up to pay for the funeral costs and has received donations from all over the world. It means Rowan will get more than a basic funeral, but it's not the reason they agreed to be interviewed.
No matter how deep water is, it can be dangerous. So my advice is always work in pairs at least. You just don't want to see anybody else get hurt from a paddling pool at any age.
Rowan's brother Declan is a lifeguard.
It says on every paddling pool, every flotation device, armbands, rubber rings, not to be left unsupervised. And I'm a fully qualified lifeguard and it takes 30 seconds for somebody to drown. That's with them already face down in the water. And all it takes is a teaspoon of water to enter somebody's lungs and that could kill them.
Rowan's family hope that others heed their warning and be spared the grief that's so painful to endure. Adam Fowler, ITV News, Doncaster.
9 men have been arrested as part of an investigation into a fatal stabbing at a West Yorkshire park. Crow Nest Park in Dewsbury remains closed after the incident on Saturday, which followed disorder involving a group of men on surrounding streets. A 36-year-old man died despite the efforts of paramedics. Police believe it was a targeted attack with no wider threat to members of the public. Those arrested are aged between 18 and 44.
Yorkshire Water has thanked customers after recording a drop in water usage following the weekend heatwave and hosepipe ban imposed last Friday. With the dry weather affecting reservoir levels, usage dropped by 80 to 100 million litres over Saturday and Sunday, compared with previous heatwaves in June. Yorkshire Water said it understood the frustration of a hosepipe ban, but thanked everyone for their reduced usage. It said there'd also been a 52% increase in reported leaks, with the most severe prioritised.
Next tonight, he lived a full, famous and generous life. The words today of the family of Uriah Rennie as hundreds packed inside and outside Sheffield Cathedral for his funeral. The adopted Sheffielder, who was the Premier League's first black referee, died last month at the age of 65.
The service heard tributes to his many achievements, but also to his loyalty and commitment to his home city, and to giving others the kind of opportunities which propelled him to a stellar career both on and off the pitch. Lisa Adlam reports.
A minute's applause started and ended fittingly at the sound of the referee's whistle. Echoing from inside Sheffield Cathedral to the scores of people gathered outside to pay their respects to Uriah Rennie. Figures from the worlds of politics, sport and civic life, among those joining his family to say a sad farewell, but also to celebrate a remarkable life.
Great friend, sadly missed, and one that you can see by the attendance here, loved in and around Sheffield.
He never forgot the community. He always worked in the community, and that's where he and I worked over many years. He always used to give me earache when I was sports minister about what I should be doing and what I shouldn't be doing, but he always did it in a very friendly way. Incredibly well respected, made a fantastic contribution to Sheffield and its sporting and indeed its community infrastructure as well.
Because while Uriah Rennie was known to the world as the first black Premier League referee, the community of Sheffield was just as important. It wasn't uncommon, his sister-in-law said, to watch him officiate on television on Saturday and then in the local park on Sunday. In recognition of that and his drive to improve equality and inclusion in sport, he'd been installed as Vice-Chancellor of Hallam University just a month before his death.
We appointed him because we believed he stood for everything that the university stands for. His commitment to equality, diversity, and his sort of upbringing and the way he'd sort of, overcome issues himself in his own life, and then how he brought those things to other people and supported so many different organisations and individuals across Sheffield. So, yeah, a truly remarkable person.
He was such a powerful individual, such an important person for Sheffield. He was just about to took up the position of being the Chancellor of the university. And that's an incredible loss to us, just as he was getting going as well.
To those closest to him, Uriah Rennie was a much-loved father, partner and uncle, and a loyal friend to those who added their tributes today, remembering times when they were on the other end of his refereeing decisions.
He's booked me a few times. I've had a few yellow cards. I argued back with him, but it was a waste of time. Obviously, I had to take the punishment, really. It shows the kind of guy he was and how much he was respected.
So I've known Uriah for over 30 years, and he's very supportive he's been supportive towards me, and like I say, other people within the community as well.
Above all, his family said today, Uriah Rennie was a man determined to open doors for others, and they urged those gathered today to keep opening those doors in his memory. Lisa Adlam, ITV News, Sheffield.
Yeah, remembering Uriah Rennie, one of the greats of the game and the first black Premier League referee.
You're watching Monday Night's Calendar with Chris Dawkes and Sally Simpson. Still to come before 6:30. Journey Back in Time, the brand new production of The Railway Children, performed on the very platform where the story began.
And after a hot and sunny weekend, it's going to feel very different as we head through into tomorrow. All the detail for the week ahead a little later on.
A drink driver caught on a police dash cam has been banned after his vehicle was seen swerving across a country road. Nottinghamshire police officers spotted a car veering into the grass and then back across the carriageway before hitting the police vehicle. Last week, Neil Shackleton from Mattersea near Retford admitted drink driving in the village and was banned from driving for 3 years and 6 months by Nottingham magistrates.
Now, I know it was quite a long time ago now, Chris, but how did you get on in your exams when you were at school?
A long time ago. Cheeky,
Not as long as since I did mine, I'll be honest.
Well, I think you could say it probably followed the rest of my school reports. Must do better.
Oh, well, you haven't done
Must
too
try
badly.
harder even
You
as well.
haven't done too badly for yourself, have you? Well, a new survey shows that more and more students are struggling with exam stress, with 1 in 10 skipping school and others even considering self-harming.
Yes, it's why there's a growing call for schools to focus on regular assessments rather than formal tests and even scrapping some exams altogether. Nick Smith has been to South Yorkshire to find out more.
For thousands of young people in our region, the end of the school year brings the looming prospect of exams. Pupils and teachers at Wales High School near Sheffield say it can cause a lot of anxiety when so much rests on the ability to perform under pressure.
I've always found them very stressful. You've decided what you want to do as your next steps. When everything rides on a certain subject that you might not be confident in, or you might overthink it.
The exams themselves are quite stressful, and I know anyone that would have done GCSEs or their A-levels this summer would know the relief that comes with just having finished your exams.
The sort of methodology of exams and testing also perhaps needs some reform. I think having a more nuanced understanding of assessment, the younger students are, the more we tend to test. When they go on to sixth form or college and A-levels, and then beyond that at university, assessment is much more nuanced. It's not just terminal exam.
A recent mental health survey found 2/3 of pupils sampled said exams had a significant impact on their well-being, with calls for reform also backed by teaching unions.
Many struggled to cope, experiencing things like skipping meals, missing out on sleep, panic attacks, suicidal thoughts and self-harm. Young Minds is calling for transformation of the way we do assessments in schools. So that means an end to SATs in primary schools and reforming GCSE and A-levels so there's less focus on final end of two-year exams, introducing a mix of assessment methods that students can take throughout their courses to reduce pressure.
There is a curriculum assessment review going on at the moment, so I'm really hopeful that they take in children's wellbeing and look at the amount of testing that children do. We know our children who've just sat their GCSEs will have had over 30 hours of testing. That's an awful lot. And so I think, yes, there's still that place for a well-designed test which accurate assesses where the children are at. That's important. However, that needs to be augmented with some ongoing assessment as well, because as teachers we know very well how well our children are doing, and sometimes tests can be inaccurate.
A Department for Education spokesperson said exams play an important role in maintaining a fair and trusted qualification system, and that we are rolling out access to a mental health professional in every school by next year. But questions remain over whether examination is a true reflection of pupil ability. With a national review into assessment still ongoing, it may find that reform is long overdue.
It certainly was a stressful time, isn't it? Now, last week we brought you the story of 8-year-old tennis lover Lydia Lowe, who'd been invited down to Wimbledon in recognition of her courage and perseverance.
Yes, after suffering a cardiac arrest last year, Lydia's heart stopped beating for 20 minutes, which left her with a serious brain injury. It took months of rehabilitation, but Lydia learned to walk again, and eventually she managed to pick up a racket and play her favourite sport once more.
Well, this weekend, Lydia was a special guest at SW19 where she met the Princess of Wales. And the youngster had some good advice for the royal VIP when making a trophy presentation.
Are you a bit nervous? You're pro then? Have you got any advice for me? Because I've got to go out and do the prize giving. Have you got any advice for me? Don't be nervous. Take deep breaths. Take deep breaths. Okay, remember that one. Thank you.
Well, Helen Steele went to see Lydia, now back at home in Crowle near Goole, to see how her royal appointment went.
Yes, well, from centre court to these swing seats here, Lydia is here and raring to talk to us, aren't you? So, we've just seen you talking to Princess Kate. Not many people have done that. Tell me what she was like.
She was very nice. She was also very tall.
and she was very chatty.
Yeah. Is there anything she asked you that kind of surprised you a bit?
So she asked me, so she said that she was a bit nervous because I'd already done my coin toss. She said she was a bit nervous because she was presenting the trophies in the women's final. And she asked me if I had any tips for her.
Yeah.
And I said, don't be nervous and take deep breaths.
Right. And has anyone seen you do that, do you think, since that? Has anyone watched that back? Have you had lots of people talking to you about it?
Yeah. So at school, loads of people asked me for my autograph.
Autograph? Really?
Yeah.
Well, what, have you been practicing? Have you been giving them one?
Yeah.
Have you?
I've given about like 21 people one.
Wow.
And there's still 3 people who want one.
Still, you better get practicing that. Meanwhile, is this the coin that you tossed?
Yeah, this is the coin that I tossed.
Did you get to keep it then, yeah?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay,
So,
let's have a look at that.
I got the 2 symbols that make the Wimbledon.
Yep.
And then on the back is the 10th anniversary.
Amazing. And talk to me a bit about, because this time last year you were quite poorly. I bet you didn't think you'd be doing this, did you?
No, I didn't even in my wildest dreams think I'd be doing this.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How did it feel then when you walked out?
It felt exciting.
Yeah.
Really exciting.
Brilliant. Okay. And do you think you'll carry on with your tennis?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'll carry on until never.
Oh, forever? Maybe?
Yeah.
Do you think you might end up back at Wimbledon one day?
Maybe.
Yeah?
Yeah, I might. Next time I go to Wimbledon, I hope I'll be playing at it.
That's brilliant. And if you do, can we come back and do a story with you then, do you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, you can.
That's brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us. So there you go, Chris. You heard it here first. She will be back. I don't know how far forward your planning goes, but in about 10 years, you might be back here.
We will be back there, won't we? 2 more autographs for us, please, Lydia,
yes, please,
as well. We want them.
absolutely. Well, from tennis to football, and Yorkshire's very own take on Soccer Aid was held in Leeds at the weekend, with a host of famous faces coming together to raise money for a homeless charity.
Yes, the annual Elliot James Bransby Memorial Shield was set up to support local causes in memory of a lifelong Leeds United fan who died unexpectedly in 2019.
This year saw Team Grey take on Team Charlton, as Ben Basin reports.
Getting bigger and better each year, this charity match is fast becoming a fixture in the Yorkshire sporting calendar. And with soap stars, ex-pros and very much not pros in the lineup, manager Mick McCarthy had to be creative with his team talk.
I've got Dave Casemiro at centre. I'm here, it's like herding cats in that dressing room. But it's raising awareness of the homeless street angels, isn't it? There's no angels in that team.
The teams this year were named in honour of Leeds legends Eddie Gray and Jack Charlton, and 2 of Jack's grandsons were among the names on the team sheet.
I don't think we're going to be quite the same calibre, but you know, hopefully we don't manage to embarrass ourselves too badly. We've got a few professionals that I think we'll be relying on.
He always used to come and watch us, so you know, used to love the idea of that, and also just he gave a lot of time to charity over the years, and so it's nice to come out today, do something for a really good cause.
The money will make a huge difference. We've just hit 900 families on our food bank register, and we're also doing classes at our new support centre to teach our parents life skills, so it will just mean we can continue to do what we love to do.
This annual event was created by David Bransby in honour of his son Elliot, a huge Leeds fan who died suddenly 6 years ago, aged just 30.
Raising money in Elliot's name brings joy to me, his family. We're doing good by him, we're keeping his name alive.
Some of the famous faces at the event have reached the very top of the game, but all said it was a privilege to give their time to this one.
I think that's what we all do, especially in a place like Leeds. We all get together, we look out for each other. And it's that old saying, the old thing, marching on together.
Anybody involved in sport, whether it's work or play, can consider themselves lucky.
And on the day, luck was on Team Charlton's side as they came out on top after penalties. But with almost £8,000 raised so far, everyone was celebrating. Ben Mason, ITV News.
Yeah, looked like a great afternoon, didn't it?
Certainly did, all for a good cause as well.
Certainly was, yeah. And finally now to a brand new production of The Railway Children, performed on the very railway line of the original film, and it opens tomorrow.
Yes, it's all part of Bradford's City of Culture celebrations, and tonight a special dress rehearsal will take place with an audience for the first time. Well, our reporter Amelia Beckett is at Oxenhope Station for us this evening, and Amelia, I believe the audience has just arrived.
Yeah, that's right, Sally. I mean, you can't get more iconic than that, can you? The steam train behind me, which has transported the audience from Keighley here to Oxenhope Station. And actually, they're all just queuing up now because this performance starts at 6:30, so not long to wait for this brand new production. And I can promise you, they're in for a treat.
Bradford! Bradford!
This is The Railway Children in its most immersive form yet. Actors performing on the very tracks of the original film. And the audience arriving by steam train from Keighley on that very same line, disembarking here at Oxenhope Station, before crossing the platform and entering this purpose-built engine shed theatre, with the audience sitting on either side of the performance as if they're actually on the platform. The very first time viewers of this stage production will actually pass through the station of that now famous final scene, with Jenny Agutter giving arguably one of British cinema's greatest moments.
Daddy, my daddy!
In this version, now reimagined by Farah Ashraf, bringing her own experience to the role.
Funny enough, I am the oldest sibling, older sister out of 3, a younger brother and sister, and we have the same age gaps as the characters in the show. So, older sister energy is one thing I bring. And just my own experience of having kind of moved from inner city London growing up, and then as a teenager we all relocated as a family to Pakistan. There was no Wi-Fi in the house for a bit of time. It was quite similar to the story. So just I love being able to play a character that I can feed on my own lived experience.
There's always hope.
As part of Bradford's City of Culture celebrations, this is also the first time the production has involved a mixed heritage family, something director Damien Cruden says feels poignant in this multicultural city.
Bradford has a story of migration, as does the whole of our nation, and the value that comes from that mixing that we get is tremendously important. And I think the story is one riff on that never-ending tale.
And for former Coronation Street actor Graham Hawley, this is a play he'd had his eyes on for a while.
I'll never forget the first time I saw it. At the time, I thought it was one of the most beautiful things I'd ever seen. And so finally to be here and be in it, I'm like a super fan. It's like I've won a competition that finally let me be in it.
And the best thing about this production? The very train from the 1970s film ends up inside the theatre. Amelia Beckett, ITV News, Oxenhope.
Wow, look at that. I don't think I've ever seen that before, a train in a theatre.
It's fantastic,
I might
isn't
take
it?
my girls to see that. They'd
do
love
this,
it.
absolutely.
They love the film.
And Kerry joins us now. Kerry, the heat wave might be over possibly, but it still feels very warm.
Yeah, still high 20s today, and Leaming and Topcliffe had a 5-day heat wave after all of that, 5 consecutive days in heat wave criteria. Yeah, really, really phenomenal, really. And there was a report issued today, the State of the Climate report. It's issued every year. It looks back at the year and also the decade in terms of our sort of climate records. It's a lot of things, basically, that we're now living in a world of extreme weather rather than just forecasting it. And if we looked at the temperatures that we've had over the last few days, it said that in the past 10 years, temperatures, or the likelihood of getting those temperatures, have quadrupled 4 times as opposed to if you were living in the 60s, 70s and 80s. And it also talked about something called phenology, I don't know if you've heard of it, or phenological mismatch, which is basically the seasons out of sync. So we're budding, we're in leaf too early, and then basically anyone that wants to forage or fens on that, it's almost too late. So the report from the Woodland Trust basically said that the frog spawn is earlier than it ever has has been. The hazel sometimes coming through before spring in December. We've talked a lot about bees and butterflies, and yes, the warmer winters might be good for us, but not so good for the hedgehogs. Not sure you'll be pleased with the weather for tomorrow. Here's the detail.
A clear start makes way for a day of ancient discoveries. TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Yes, the heat wave is over, at least for now, but we stick with temperatures above average for the time of year for much of the week ahead. Not necessarily blue sky though. Certainly tomorrow it will feel very different. We're expecting plenty more in the way of cloud. Also wetter and windier for a time, and then pretty messy from midweek. Low pressure takes charge from the Atlantic, so feeding in showers or longer spells of rain at times, but in between still some drier and brighter and sunnier slots this week. So as we head through into this evening, any of the heavy showers pushing out into the North Sea, leaving us relatively quiet, mostly dry with clear spells. But by the time we reach the early hours, showers start to threaten the Pennines, the winds start to freshen. Temperature-wise though, still quite a warm night to come. Definitely mixed skies though over the next few days. Big thank you to Tony for this shot. 4:54 and 9:30 are you sometimes as we head into Tuesday. Might be a dry start tomorrow, but it clouds up. Showers merge to longer spells of rain. There'll be some heavy pulses within that as it pushes eastwards, maybe even a rumble or two of thunder and some gusty winds as well. On the charts, temperatures around average 19 or 20 Celsius, but it will feel a lot cooler with the stronger winds and the lack of sunshine. As we head through into tomorrow evening, still pretty showery, but as we head through into Thursday, we are expecting some bright spells. There will be some cloud around, a few scattered showers, but temperature-wise still above the average for the time of year at 23, possibly 24 Celsius. So we're not cold, winds relatively light, but a mixture in our skies of, yes, drier and clearer spells, but also some showers or longer spells of rain. It does look quite showery as we head through towards the weekend.
TUI sponsors ITV Yorkshire Weather. Making the most of summer. Piri sponsors ITV Pollen Count.
Yes, thirsty work for bees, I imagine, over the last few days, and pretty tricky tomorrow with the rain and the stronger winds. Grass pollen-wise, up and down over the next few days, but lower compared to the weekend.
Those temperatures are still quite high, but not as much sunshine.
Yeah, still above average. But
and we do need some of that rain as well, don't we? Of course.
Welcome watering.
We do, the gardens do, don't they? That's it for now, though. I'm back at 10:30. Mary's next. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.